What's up, everybody? Justin here, back with a new fantasy booking show. Haven't done a fantasy booking in probably a month or something. So this is a fantasy booking of Asuka on Monday Night Raw. We all know, real life WWE, Asuka is going to be debuting on Raw very soon, probably in October. So this is my fantasy booking of Asuka on Raw. Here we go. I have Asuka debuting in late September on Raw. And from late September to about November 10th, Asuka will go 6-0. She will defeat 6 jobbers on Raw. 6 weeks in a row. Asuka will defeat them all with the Asuka lock. All 6 of her opponents will tap out. So Asuka 6-0, and it will be explained. They'll put it over. Asuka 6-0, and she's defeated all her opponents by tap out from the Asuka lock. So after that, as I said, Asuka destroys the jobbers they bring in for her, to feed her, to push her, to get her over more, and to make her look strong. Feed her 6 jobbers, she's 6-0, they all tap out to the Asuka lock. So after that, the Monday Night Raw before Survivor Series, Alexa Bliss comes out. She gets on the mic. Alexa says to Asuka, "Who have you beat? Who have you beat on Raw? Who have you really beat? You've beat nobodies." And then Alexa goes on to say, and Alexa Bliss is the champion still. So she's the champion in this fantasy booking of Asuka. Alexa, the champion, says, who have you beat? And you beat nobodies, in my opinion. So then out comes Asuka. Asuka's music hits, the crowd goes insane. Asuka comes out, goes face to face with Alexa. Asuka says to Alexa right in her face. Asuka challenges Alexa. Alexa doesn't answer. She will not answer. She looks scared to death. And then Alexa tries to punch her. Asuka ducks. Asuka locks on the Asuka lock on Alexa Bliss. And then Alexa has the Asuka lock on, and it's not a match. They just confront each other. Asuka challenged Alexa. Asuka lock on Alexa. It's not a match. Alexa taps out. And the crowd pops when they see Alexa tap out. So now we go to Survivor Series. Survivor Series pay-per-view, where Asuka's involved in a 4-on-4 women's Monday Night Raw elimination match for the Raw brand. The team is Asuka, Bayley, Sasha Banks, and Summer Rae. Because why not throw Summer Rae in there? She hasn't been on TV at all. So it's Asuka, Summer Rae, Bayley, and Sasha on one team. Their opponents are Nia Jax, Alexa Bliss, Emma, and Jazzy Gabbard. From the Mae Young Classic, Jazzy Gabbard is part of Alexa's team. So it's 4-on-4. Summer Rae, Bayley, Sasha all get eliminated. And Alexa's team still has all 4 women on it. Nobody's been eliminated from the champion, Alexa Bliss's team. So it's Asuka. Asuka against 3. 4. What am I saying, 3? It's Asuka, the only survivor from her team left, taking on 4 women. So it's Asuka against 4 other women. And Asuka beats them all. Asuka beats all 4 of them, eliminates all 4 of them, and beats them all with the Asuka lock. So they all 4 tap out to Asuka. That would make Asuka look really strong, in my opinion. If it was her against 4 women, and then she defeated them all, she wouldn't have to tap them out. But in my fantasy booking, Asuka taps all 4 of them out. So she is the sole survivor. So then after that, And I said, well, no, Asuka eliminated... She eliminated 2 of them with the Asuka lock, and the other 2 in Survivor Series elimination, the other 2, Asuka eliminated them by 2 head kicks. So, it wasn't 4 Asuka locks. So anyways, now we go to... let me flip this over. So now we go to the December after Survivor Series. The December Raw pay-per-view. It's Asuka getting a title shot. Asuka taking on the champion Alexa Bliss at the December pay-per-view. Asuka wins the title. Asuka defeats Alexa Bliss and wins the championship. The crowd loves it. The crowd goes insane. So Asuka's the new Raw Women's Champion. And by the way, she's still undefeated on Monday Night Raw. So Asuka's now champion. Going into January. Going into 2018. Asuka is still and the new Raw Women's Champion. So now we go to Royal Rumble. At Royal Rumble, Asuka's not defending the title, but first time ever, Women's Royal Rumble match. Asuka's in it, along with 19 other women. So this Women's Royal Rumble for 2018, the Women's Royal Rumble is 20 women in it. I don't think WWE has 30 women under contract. Maybe if you count all the women at the Performance Center and NXT, maybe they have 30. They probably could put 30 women in a Rumble, but that would take a lot of time out of the Rumble pay-per-view. I don't know, they can make it 45 minutes or an hour, but in my opinion, that's too long because there's a men's Rumble match. And that happens every year, and it usually goes over an hour. And don't extend the Rumble to 6 hours, because nobody wants to see that. So just make the Women's Royal Rumble a 20-woman over-the-top rope, every woman for herself, Royal Rumble women's match. Asuka's in it, Charlotte, Lana, Tamina, every woman a part of Raw and SmackDown is part of the Rumble match, and you can even throw NXT women in there. Paint Royce, Billie Kay, Ruby Riott. You could throw in a lot of NXT women also in the Rumble match to bump it up to 20 women. So Asuka's in the first ever Women's Royal Rumble, and Asuka wins. Asuka wins it. I would ever win it. That's why I fantasy booked it. Asuka wins the first ever Women's Royal Rumble. So now, I'm skipping forward to all the way to WrestleMania 34, where Asuka doesn't have a true challenger to challenge her for her title. So at WrestleMania, let me get a drink real fast. It's very hot in my room right now because I don't have the air on. It shouldn't be hot anymore because tomorrow's actually the first day of fall, and tomorrow's gonna be 90 fucking degrees. I don't like that. I wish it wasn't hot anymore, but whatever. Damn global warming or climate change making it hot way into October and early November and late September. I don't like it hot when it's close to October. So anyways, enough about the weather. I just wish it wasn't hot anymore, but it still is. And it's damn, not just hot, it's damn humid. I don't like that. So WrestleMania, Asuka. Back to my fantasy booking of Asuka on Raw. WrestleMania, Asuka has an open challenge because she's beaten everybody on Raw, basically. She's beaten all the heels. She's still undefeated. She won the first ever Women's Royal Rumble. She won at Survivor Series and was a sole survivor after defeating 4 women. So Asuka has an open challenge for her Raw Women's title at WrestleMania 34. Who's the mystery opponent? The music hits. It's Ember Moon making her main roster debut. Ember Moon comes out of WrestleMania. I'm sure she'd get a good pop. I would like to see that match at WrestleMania 34. That's why I fantasy booked it. I would like to see Ember Moon on the main roster take on Asuka for the women's title at WrestleMania 34. I think that'd be a very good match. They could restart, reignite their feud they had in NXT. They had 2 championship matches, NXT TakeOver Chicago, NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3, that were very good matches. They never got to have a third match in NXT because Asuka broke her collarbone. So have them wrestle on the main roster and feud again. Because Ember Moon and Asuka had great chemistry and they had great matches, in my opinion. So Asuka's mystery opponent at WrestleMania 34 is Ember Moon. They have a classic, but Asuka wins, and Asuka is still unbeaten and still the Raw Women's Champion after WrestleMania now. This is a final part of my fantasy booking of Asuka. The Raw after Mania. Raw after WrestleMania. It's always a hype crowd. Hardcore fans are always there. A lot of fans from different countries are always at the Raw after Mania because they want to be there. So the Raw after Mania. Asuka comes out with the women's title. Asuka gets on the mic and says, "Nobody on Raw can beat Asuka." That's her famous catchphrase. She always says that. So she says nobody on, again, she says on the mic, Raw after WrestleMania, nobody on Raw can beat Asuka. And then, music hits. It's Paige. Paige's music hits. And in real life, she'll probably return way before WrestleMania 34. But for my fantasy booking, she returns after WrestleMania 34. Paige's music hits, the crowd goes insane. Paige and Asuka face off. They go face to face, staring at each other. And then they have a feud. They have a feud that starts. I think that'd be very good, especially for the main roster. A Paige-Asuka feud, I think, would be very damn good. And I'd like to see that. I'd also like to see Ember Moon Asuka feud on the main roster. So the Raw after Mania, Paige's music hits when Asuka says nobody can beat Asuka on Raw. Paige's music hits, she comes out, the crowd goes insane. And they face off, and down the road, or they start a feud, and could probably have 2 or 3 pay-per-views they could headline and be against each other. So this ends my fantasy booking of Asuka on Raw. Raw after Mania, that's where this show ends. Paige comes out, goes face to face with Asuka, and I'd have them start a feud. Right after that, into the April pay-per-view or May pay-per-view, whatever it is, Extreme Rules or something. So this ends my fantasy booking of Asuka on Raw. I thought I had some really good ideas to build up Asuka. Hope you enjoyed it. Follow me on Twitter at WWE NXT Guy. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Bye for now.